this lady is so precious. I deal with you people, and I have yet to meet somebody that I am not crazy about, because all of you are so sincere in wanting just to get rid of your debt. Is this glare so bad that you can't see the numbers? Because I'm seeing it and it's driving me nuts. She is a student and works. This lady here, she has been a stay-at-home mom for 15 years, and so she's building credit. Just got a great job, making good income, but she's going to work her way out of any debt that she has, but she didn't have a line of credit or even a credit card to do it with. So I made a suggestion that she go to a local credit union and she get a secured credit card. And I told her, I said, just kind of have fun with it. Ask them if you can just have a low credit card and not have to secure it with any funds. And lo and behold, they gave her the $500 credit card. So she's jumping up and down right now, and she will, I expect that'll be a $10,000, it's a P-lock. You can use it as a credit card or a personal line of credit. So I expect it'll be $10,000 by May. It's not going to take her long. She just got to build up some credit. And when you're using credit cards like she's getting ready to use the $500 one, that won't take long, especially at the credit union she's at. So anyway, so I put P-lock up here because you can take a credit card off of a credit union. Let's say any bank will do it. If you have a credit card attached to your checking account, so like if you go in and get your checking account, which we all have to have, right? When you go in and get it, they usually say, you know, we can give you such and such on a credit card today. You know, if you've got good credit, they'll like go ahead and throw $15,000 on you. Now, if you don't, they might not offer it. But most banks, credit unions, when you sign up, they offer that card because they are a bank and they want to start drawing interest off of you immediately, right? Okay, so if you take that credit card, now I'm just going to say out loud, Truist Bank, I know for a fact, if you use their credit card to draw cash off of it and put it into your checking account, they are going to charge you, and I'm talking, I think up to 10% for each withdrawal. I don't suggest using them. I mean, unless you have a 30% credit card you're paying off, sure, use that. But no, we're just not going to throw people fees because they feel like it, okay? So when it comes to using certain banks, check that. Make sure you can do the transfers for no fees. If you have a small fee, that's okay. But if you're doing like they do, and I'm pretty sure, like I drew out just to try it, you know, because I always say try it. I drew out $100 put into my checking, and they charged me $10 to do that. Well, that'll be the last time they get the chance to do that. So, you know, if you want to try that, that will be great, and it may work. Now, I know credit unions, and none of them that I've dealt with personally, and I have clients that they deal with their credit union and they don't charge. It doesn't matter how much you deposit in, it doesn't matter how much you pull off of it to go into your checking account, they do not charge. So try it, you know, if it works, great. If it doesn't, then, you know, find another source. So everybody out there is, you know, probably screaming, hey, well, with $8,000 a month, she ought to be fine. That's ridiculous. You know, somebody making $8,000 a month and I'm over here making $2 and making it. You're right. I'm not going to argue with that. But there are different expenses that people get tied up in. I know for a fact this person has a special diet that she has to attend to. So her food bill, due to the organics and due to maybe supplements and allergists, you know, people have different scenarios. So just because she makes a lot of money doesn't necessarily mean she's got a lot of money. And so we need to respect people. Like doctors and lawyers who, you know, we're like, well, they're a doctor or they're a lawyer, they should be in good shape. Well, it depends. Everybody has a life story. Everybody is handling their life situation differently. Now, if you're a bum laying on the couch, I'm with you. I don't think that somebody should lay around on the couch and then whine because they've got debt and they can't meet their debts because they won't work. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people that are working, that are trying to make it happen. This person's got 4 kids, so they've got a lot of expenses that I don't have. And so when I go through this scenario, don't have a hard heart thinking, you know, this person's not managing her money, because that's not the point. They just have a lot of expenses. Okay, so Let's start with this. So we've got $8,000 in income a month, $20,000 in debt, $4,000 in expenses. Now that includes, I'm sure, rent. I know food, their utilities, such as that. Like I said, they've got 4 kids, one's in diapers. I mean, you've just got expenses here that only large families know about. So there's 6 people in the family. So their expenses, I just, to be honest with you, figured that up on my own. It may even be more than that, but we're going to go with $4,000. The cash flow is $4,000, and that's a lot of money. That is, we can pay off anything with $4,000 a month, but some people don't understand how to pay off their things with $4,000 a month. So that's what we're going to talk about. She got the PLOC credit card today, $500. She has a truck loan at $12,000. I think it's like $600 a month, and then she has, let's say, a personal loan, something like that, at $6,000 a month, because I'm getting her up to the $20,000. So that would be $1,000 in payments there. After she works on this PLOC, now with her income and her credit score is going to go up because she is using the PLOC to throw as much expenses as you can get on $500, and then she's going to turn around, income in, expenses out. She's going to do that daily if she has to. Credit cards love for you to mess with them daily. So if you pulling her expenses out, putting the money right back in, this will go up. And I know this bank, they're really good about working with people, so I feel sure that she's going to be at least up to $10,000 by May, maybe 15. I know they go to a max of 15 on their PLOCs. So the way this would go is she would start in May. Now until May, she could get really focused, work on doing the expenses out, income in here, but she could also get really focused and put $4,000 on this any loans she has outside of the truck. Now I know the truck is almost paid. It's almost paid off. Well, I mean, it's all the interest has basically been paid. So she's literally doing nothing but paying off the principal now. So she's coming into the game a little bit late, but that's okay. So with the $6,000, let's say she has on the side, she would take $6,000, put it on her expected $10,000 in May. She would drop her $6,000 income in there to wipe that out, because remember, it's not like a loan. When we put our money into a PLOC or a credit card, we can turn right around and use that money again. It's not like putting it into a loan, a car loan, a student loan, or into a mortgage to where you make that $1,000 payment and it's gone, right? We can turn around and pull that right back out and use it again, which is what she's going to do. So she'll pay $6,000 to pay this off. So this will be gone. Then she'll put her income in month 1, pay that off. Her expenses will go in, or I'm sorry, her expenses will come out, which is $4,000. The next month she will throw in $6,000 on this truck, cutting it down to $6,000. That will bring her balance up to $10,000, which may be the limit at that time. But she's going to immediately turn around in month 2 and put $8,000 back into the $10,000, bringing that down to $2,000. Then her expenses will come out, $4,000. Then she'll be back up to $6,000. She'll pay $2,000 more on the truck right here, which will bring her back up to $8,000. And then month 3, she'll put the $8,000 in of her income, pay that off again. Now, what is this? What's happening with the interest here? This PLOC usually runs about 7.7%, somewhere in there. So let's see. I'm really not seeing any interest. Are you? No, because here she goes to 0. Her expenses come out, so she might have 100 here, 100 there. It builds up through the month. So this is like a paid check, I think, of around $2,000 a week. So if she's putting in $2,000 a week, she's constantly keeping this balance paid off. I mean, her expenses, as long as she is using just this PLOC to pay her expenses, and then everything that she makes income-wise goes into here, and I'm just counting her income, I'm not counting her husband's, you're talking no interest this PLOC is going to be like her checking account. That's all she's using it for. So in month 3, she'll pay it off again. Her expenses will start coming out through the month, and then she's going to pay off the truck right here in month 3. Then the balance will be $8,000 again when she pays off the truck. I guess the beginning of month 4, and then the income will go in month 4. She's down to 0 and paying expenses only. She's completely out of debt. If purchasing a home, would you go the all-in-one loan route to avoid the 30-year fixed? Absolutely. Yes. Get into a line of credit and do not let that sit in a mortgage. I don't care if you use a credit card, if you use a personal line of credit, if you use a HELOC. HELOC. Pull everything out of that mortgage you can, because they are eating you up with interest. If you are at a 4% interest, which would be lucky of you to be at a 4% interest today, because I hear that it is running up to 7% now. But if you're at a 4%, you would take 4 times 2, which is 8, and add a 0, and that is the percent you're paying, is 80%. And you pay that in your first 5 to 7 years. That's why with a HELOC, with a line of credit, you should be out of your mortgage in 5 to 7 years. You shouldn't be sitting in a mortgage at all. They're very, very expensive. Is a HELOC better than asking them to raise a credit card? Not necessarily. It all works. Whatever you have to use it. So if you need to use the credit card and we can do it and get by with it, then a credit card will work just as good as a HELOC. We do have to go through a third party to pay off stuff with a little bit of charge. But like I said, if you're chunking off a 25% credit card and they're charging you 2% to send that payment, then you're making out good. So I wouldn't worry about a 2%, 3% charge.